Hey guys, it's Sensibility here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Amber Marie, and today I'm going to be doing a Bakhoor video. I just kind of noticed in my playlist I didn't have too many videos, so I'm going to talk about the 4 burners that I have, the 4 different styles, because there's a style for everybody. Which one is my favorite, the pros and cons, and so forth. So the first one is the first Bakhoor burner that I got. This one is also considered the traditional non-electric burner. Here we go. They have all different styles. I would not recommend getting this one, not this style. This is a soap stone, but this is also meant for the incense sticks and so forth. You can see how nasty it's gotten on top where I close it off, but it lets it all kind of seep out. So typically with this, your Bakhoor is burned on charcoal. They've also came out with coconut ones. So the pros of this. So all Bakhoor can be burned on this one because it's burning it. It's not warming it or heating it. It's burning it. So essentially it incinerates it. So if you're going to go with this method, keep this in mind. The pro is you can burn any type of Bakhoor on the market. It's going to cook it. The cons to this. There is a lot of cons to this. First of all, if you're going to use charcoal, you're going to need a lot of it. The charcoal burns very, very fast. So you will need a big box. You will go through it a lot. You will have to reorder it a lot. The other option is the coconuts. They burn a lot slower. Now, when you're using the charcoal, it not only makes it very smoky in your home, it leaves a black soot. So that is a con with the charcoal. So if you're going to go with the non-electric, I recommend you go with the coconut ones. Not only do they burn slower, so you'll get longer use out of them and you'll use less of them, you will also not have black soot. So they don't leave any smoke and they are odorless. They are a bit more expensive than this, but if you compare the two and it's lasting you longer and you're not using as many and it's not leaving soot, coconut is the way to go. So there you go. It essentially will permeate your house. As far as the scent goes with using the Bakhoor, I would smell it in the beginning, but then eventually the smell of the charcoal essentially took over and the beautiful smell went away. So I keep a hold of this because I use it for certain occasions, and I will talk about that in the end. But this is definitely my least favorite way to go. Now, if you had all your windows open, so forth, but Bakhoor is designed to have your house closed in and let the scent permeate the entire home. So this is my least favorite, so that's number 4. The next one that is my least favorite as far as versatility with Bakhoor is this one right here. So this one is for the car. Doesn't burn all types of Bakhoor. It will only burn the wood chips. And I tried resin in it. It did not work. It clogged it up. And this type right here, the pressed cubes. So you can only use 2 types of Bakhoor with this travel one. So this is an electric one, but it's a portable one. It's essentially cordless, but you do have to charge it all the time. So those are the 2 types of Bakhoors that work best in that one. So what are the pros and cons of it? So the pro is you get instant scent. Let me see if there's some in here right now. I actually have some in here, but it's getting kind of old. But I'm going to show you real quick how it works. If you guys can see the smoke. Maybe. When it's fresh, a Bakhoor, it definitely brings out a cloud of smoke. I don't know if you guys can see it. It is smoking a little bit, but not much because most of the scent has been burnt out of it. There you go. And this will go for a couple, maybe 30 seconds, and then it stops. Then you got to let it cool down, and then you press the button again. So the pro is you can instantly scent an area if you want to. This is also can be used in your car. I use it, like I said, around my house when I want instant scent. So that's a pro. The con is you can only really use 2 different types of Bakhoor on the market, which also limits the scents. So you are stuck to oud chips and the press and whatever scents those come in. Another con to this one right here is I feel like I have to charge it all the time. I get a very short use out of it. I would have loved this if this was continuous, but it's not. It comes, like I said, you maybe can press the button 5 to 10 times and then you have to charge it again. So you're not able to use all of the Bakhoor. You have to charge it a lot, and I'm trying to think what else. You can't use like resins in it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it, but I do still like this as far as a grab and go type Bakhoor burner. This will range you about, I think they're going anywhere from $50 to $100. And in my personal opinion, if it's going to cost you that much, you should be able to have a lot more push action than what you do. The battery on it is not very long lasting. So you get maybe 10 of those cycles and then it's done. But as far as how it emits the scent in the air, it's really cool. I like it. It's a grab and push, and instantly you see it working, and it's great. So there is that. So that one is number 3. Number 2 is the one that I got off of Amazon. It's by a company called Dahin. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, it's backwards. And this is kind of like a tea light burner, but this was designed for Bakhoor. Now with this baby right here, you're even more limited on what type of Bakhoor you can burn. So, as far as using this, the best Bakhoors for this have always been the softer ones. So my homemade kind right here, I'll show you an example. Hopefully I don't break it. So this is a lot of very finely pressed, like oud, sandalwood, sugar. It's a lot of finely stuff pressed together, and that works really good in this burner. I have tried to use the oud chips. It's all right. I feel like it doesn't get hot enough to really get to the temp that it needs to warm. So this one does not burn. The previous 2 burn the Bakhoor. This is more designed to be a warmer. Therefore, it's only going to work on Bakhoors that can be warmed up. So you put a little tea light down in there. And this is actually, this is the most used burner out of all. And you can see I've got my homemade in there. So it dries it out. Doesn't turn it into ash. But because of what this is made out of, I can scoop it out, put it in a bag, and rescent it and reuse it again. So that is a pro of using this. If you make your own homemade kind or you use the pressed cubes. This is another type that you can use in it right here. This is pretty much what comes with it. Here are the samples. And these smell really, really good. Quite beautiful. This particular company, a lot of Bakhoor that I've gotten, it's almost like it's going towards French style, and I have really wanted Bakhoor that is more Arabic, African, Yemeni, I believe, just the traditional regions and their scents. So I really like that about this company, that they stuck with that, and that's what they marketed. They have very beautiful scents. This came in a sample pack, was not expensive at all. It was like 20 bucks. They have two different kinds. They have one that's like Mamul, and then this one, which is like the cubes. But still, it's essentially what I've made homemade. So there you go. That's really all you can use in this. I think I've tried to do resin in here, but resin is really not my thing, but I think it would work. But you can also get something similar to this for resins that is adjustable. And I think that would be more beneficial to those that work with resins more than Bakhoor. But if you're working with Bakhoor, this particular one, it's going to be the cubes or the soft pressed kind, or even loose. But as far as like hard kinds, wood chip kinds, it's just not going to work. So the final one here, and this one is the most universal. Now you don't have to get this particular one here, but it's the design of it. So this is an electric Bakhoor burner, but this one is really cool. They have other ones. You can get them on Amazon, eBay. You can pretty much find them anywhere. You want to get one that has a temp control on it. Just because I have learned for this to be a universal product, you need an adjuster on it. And as long as you have that adjuster on it, it essentially can burn any type of Bakhoor, just like the charcoal, without all the soot, without having something actually on fire. So this warms. It doesn't burn like the charcoal. So this is a warmer. But essentially, it's quite similar to the first Bakhoor burner I showed you with the charcoal. It can burn any type in here. So you can actually see that I have wood chips in there. So I learned that recently. So try to organize this. So when you get an electric burner like this, I've had to play with it a lot. Let me get up close. So I went with this one, obviously, because the lid closes and it has a cute little drawer here where I pretty much store all my gadgets. So if you're going to go with electric, if you want to do wood chips, you're just going to stick it in the burner just like that. You can see this is what's left over after it's been warmed up. So essentially what this does is it heats all the fragrance out, and I'm left with the remnants of the wood. So what I will do is take that wood, put it in a container, and that is when I use the first burner, the non-electric charcoal one. And once I get a pile going, I'll burn whatever little bit of scent is left just to get rid of it. So that's one way of using it. And I just kind of discovered that recently, because at one time I could not use wood chips in here at all. It was different types. Well, your electric, if you get a good one, some of them don't come with it, but you can buy these separate. They come with these little bowls right here. Mine did, and I bought spares off of Amazon. You don't go through these as quick as you think you do. Some people want to use aluminum foil. I don't even fuss with it. But this, on top of that burner, actually kind of helps reduce some of the heat, and it also contains it. So this is when I use the loose Bakhoor like this. This keeps it all in here. Makes it easy to clean up and throw away. The wood chips are pretty easy to pick out of it as far as just straight on the burner. Again, this is a cup. Let's see. These I usually put in the cups here. And then my favorite, where is she at? And this one is an absolute must. You have to have the cup for it. It bubbles and it brews. And when it's done, it essentially looks like a hockey puck. But if you try to put it straight on the burner, you are going to have a mess. So make sure you get some of these. This is my favorite Bakhoor. And This is like rock candy, but I call it rock scented perfume. But it's Bakhoor. And it does have little wood chips in there. You just can't see it. It's like the rock candy or the rock perfume has essentially been mixed in with it, and it kind of crystallizes around it. Yes, this is my favorite Bakhoor. If anybody wants to know, I got it from Arabian Shopping Zone. They're out of Switzerland. Matter of fact, I have 10 bottles of this coming because I love this so much. This is a beautiful rosy scent. It smells so good. But here are some of the wood chips. So essentially I will save these, put these in a jar, and these are what I burn on the charcoal. And only those. So those are the 4 Bakhoor burners that I have. My favorite is definitely the electric. It's just really getting used to, like I said, I recently discovered that I can in fact burn the Bakhoor or warm the Bakhoor in the burner without the bowl. So everything else I use the bowl for. It keeps it contained. It's easy to throw away, dump out. But your oud chips or your wood chip type Bakhoor can go in there without this. It does a really, really good job. So as far as temp goes, the oud chips, I usually put it about 1/2 to 3/4. Does really good. You don't want a bunch of smoke. Essentially, it should be a fine smoky mist coming out, and it's heating it properly. As far as when I use the sugar in this bowl, I have to have it all the way up. You want to cook it. If not, you're not going to be able to get it out of here. The pressed or the softer, I just do it about 1/2. So that's where I stay with it. The softer materials, you want to keep the heat lower. The more wetter type, which would be essentially the rock perfume kind, because it turns into like a liquid and it's all gooey, you have to kind of cook it at high. So there you go. There are the 4 Bakhoor burners that I have. Again, this is my least favorite here. The next one is this one, which is an electric one that still kind of mimics the non-electric, but it doesn't have a very long life battery. The second one is this one, just because you're restricted on what type of Bakhoor. You can really use only soft Bakhoor on this. But if you get one of the adjustable ones, I don't even think they call it it's more like a tea light type thing, and it goes up and down. You could probably do more different types of Bakhoor. And then of course, guys, my favorite is definitely still the electric. It's just similar to, it's very versatile like the non-electric. You just don't have all the smoke. You don't have all the cons with it. This is a plug and go type device. I can use any Bakhoor in here. I just need to make sure I'm adjusting my temps. So in my opinion, if you're really going to get into Bakhoor and you're wanting to try a variety, get yourself an electric Bakhoor with a temp adjuster on it. And make sure that bad puppy is, the plug-in is for whatever region you are in, because they still sell them where they're not for the United States and Canada. So just pay attention to that. For those that just want the simple Bakhoor, the little cube things here, you're fine with that. You're not really trying to dive deep into it. These right here, get yourself this. $20, great price. If you are wanting something that is portable, you don't have to light a candle, but you don't want to mess with the temp, and maybe you're an oud chip type person, get yourself this. Just know that it doesn't have a very long life battery to it, so you're going to be charging it a lot, but it still works really good, and this would be fantastic for your car. And then lastly, for those that don't mind, you know, lighting something, then definitely pick up a non-electric if you are still wanting to be very universal, but you're not wanting to have something where you got to adjust the temperature. Get yourself a non-electric Bakhoor burner, but just go with the coconut coals, not the charcoal. That way you don't get black soot. So thanks for watching my video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do apologize if I've rambled on. So with that said, you guys have an awesome day. And as always, guys, happy perfume shopping. Bye, guys.